I live in South Korea, I don't speak Korean, and obviously I'm black. I've traveled around many cities in the Gangwon province and I've been to Seoul a few times, so I have a good sense of my surroundings now. I live in the northeastern part of the province and there aren't too many colleges or universities near this area, so there aren't too many people my age. So most of the people that live around me are younger or they're much older than me. But with that being the case, I still have pretty positive experiences other than the stares that I get every now and then. Over the last 10 years or so, I've gotten used to standing out in crowds. Having lived in Zambia for more than 10 years, coming to Canada, obviously we left Africa, which is a black community, to come to Canada to live in a city called Burlington, which has a population that is mostly white. It took me a while to get used to things, and obviously I made friends with the white people that are around me, and not just white people, but people from different backgrounds as well, because Canada is so multicultural. So when I came to South Korea, obviously I knew I was going to stand out, but it's nothing that I haven't experienced before. It's just obviously going to be on a larger scale. One time I was sitting in the bus stop and I was waiting to take the bus, and then this one lady saw me sitting there, and then as soon as she saw me, she kind of like opened up her eyes and she was like, oh, and I could tell she was thinking to herself, oh, black guy. And then she was kind of like really nice to me, and she asked me, oh, can I buy you coffee and whatever, and I was just like, no, it's okay, and she kept on insisting, and then I didn't want to say no, but I was just like, you know what, I'm wide awake, I don't need this coffee right now, but thank you very much. Another time I was chilling outside a convenience store after school with a friend of mine, and 3 Korean people came, 2 men and a woman, and they saw us sitting there and they sat at the table right beside us. So obviously they were looking at us for a while and they're really curious and they wanted to talk to us. So one of the guys just asked, hey, where are you from, blah blah blah. His English was limited, but he was really excited to talk to us, so he gave some money to his wife and he told his wife to go inside and get us some beers and some food, which was really sick. But I was shocked because we barely spoke to him. We spoke to him for maybe a couple minutes, but I guess he's just a really good dude. So at school, a lot of the students and the teachers want to talk to me. Now I don't know if it's because I'm black, or if it's because I'm an English teacher, or it's because of my personality, or maybe it's a combination of the 3. Some teachers would talk to me during lunch, but a few have kind of asked me to go out and get drinks with them. And then in terms of my students, one of my students came up to me and he asked me, hey teacher, has anybody called you the N-word in Canada? There's only one of 3 students that I teach that I can actually have a conversation with, so when he asked me that question I said yes. It has been said to me, but I can count on one hand the number of times that I've had racist experiences in Canada, and I do think the racism in America is much worse. I showed another person a picture of my Canadian ID and they said I look like a criminal, and I was kind of just like, what? And then they're like, oh, because you know, you're not smiling in the photo and you look angry. So then I was kind of just like, oh, okay, I guess I don't really understand stereotypes and how that is offensive, but I let it go and I laughed it off because I knew they weren't coming from a bad place. She was saying, oh, you're a very cheerful person, you should smile on all your photos. So I was like, okay, I understand, don't worry. And in terms of people taking pictures or asking for pictures, it's happened 4 times. And those 4 times were actually in one day. It's when we went to Soroksan National Park. I was with 4 of my friends, and so we were just 5 foreigners that were walking in the park, and I guess we really stood out because 4 different people came and they're asking us for photos with them, and we're kind of just like, eesh. When I'm in Seoul, I try to go out at night, and every time I go out, there's always some people that are trying to talk to me or try to dance with me and stuff like that, and obviously they like hip-hop or black culture, so I guess hanging around me makes them feel cool. They don't say anything offensive, they're all cool, they're all nice, so I kind of enjoy it. After the night's done, there's tons of taxis outside and you think it'd be easy to get one, but that's definitely not the case. So the first time I was in Seoul, it was around like maybe 11 p.m. or 12, and I was waving down taxis as they were driving by, and then literally all the taxis were just going past me, and I was getting upset. I'm like, yo, is this like a racial thing? Are they driving past me because I'm black? I talked to my other friends too that are foreigners, and they said they experienced the same thing. Not all of them are black, some of them are white, and some of them come from different backgrounds, but they all said that the taxis, they were having trouble getting taxis as well, and they'll only pick up Korean people when they drove by. I later found out that there's an app called Kakao Taxi, and people use this app to call themselves a taxi, so the taxi will come to pick up a specific person, just the way Uber works. But I know that the taxi drivers still do have preference, obviously, to pick up a Korean person rather than a foreigner, because the Korean person speaks Korean, so there won't be any language issues. I don't really speak any Korean, so I've been in taxis before and I've tried telling the guy where I want to go, but he's kind of just like, no, sorry, go, because he just doesn't understand. So not all taxi drivers speak English, which is fine, so I just gotta put myself in their shoes and kind of think how I would do it if I were in their position. So in summary, I don't have anything too negative to say about South Korea. Most of the stuff that I've mentioned have been positive. Speaking from my experience, if you're a foreigner and you're thinking of coming here, you have nothing really to worry about other than just curiosity, comments, and people staring at you. If you can get through that, I promise you have a good time. Stay dreaming, stay chasing, and I'll see you in the next one.
Surprise, motherfucker.
You serious?